Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the first live video on the new Warrior MBS dedicated web page. I found that posting Warrior MBS stuff on my other pages just wasn't working out too well because I keep getting shadow banned. So this is going to be just dedicated to Warrior MBS. Thanks for tuning in. The first thing I want to talk about today is warming up, especially for guys who are getting a little bit older and they feel stiff in the morning. They've got aches and pains, especially in their tendons and their muscles. And I'm going to show you a warm-up in a few minutes that we use inside of Warrior MBS to get the guys loosened up, ready to go, and mentally it kind of sets the stage. It takes about 4.5 to 5 minutes to get done with that. But before I even do that, you know, I've got some achy tendons, I've got some old injuries, and it's hard to beat one of these guys right here to loosen up, to get the blood flow. I've found that when you have, you know, fresh blood pumping into an area, it's actually easier to stretch, it's easier to warm up, and you're less likely to get injured. So I'm going to show you a little bit about what I do. Let me lower this thing down here. So I tend to have some pain in my ankle areas, the sides of my knees, hamstrings. I get tight right here in the sides of my glutes. So I turn on one of these bad boys right here. This is a Sonic Life Pro. It was only about, I think this one was $100. But I'll actually take off my shoes and socks, and I'll work the sides and the middle of that Achilles tendon where I have a lot of pain sometimes. I'll work the other side as well. Sorry, I didn't want to give a crotch shot there. But also the bottoms of the feet. You know, I've got flat feet that tend to get pretty sore. So I'll hit that up. Sorry about the hairy, pale legs on this video, but you get the point. I mean, that feels really good. And I know, for me, I've noticed there's occasional mornings where I will actually have some numbness in like my big toe. I think from old back injuries, there's just some issues with nerves. But again, getting the blood flow going in your feet, I'll actually do the bottoms of those toes. And typically that numbness, that tingling will go away and it'll feel, you know, normal again. So I'll keep going here. I don't know if this is a good idea or a bad idea. There we go. I mean, that just feels phenomenal right there. Yeah, getting everything going again. Okay, calves I think are important. So I really like to get deep in those calves. It just feels extremely good. And then another area for me, I'll raise this up, is the outside glute. Just really dig in there, hold and press and push. You want to get one of these percussion massagers that actually will allow you to push in. And then shoulders, chest. And this is fantastic right here. Just to put down that arm and leave it really limp. You can get into your back. Feels extremely good. All right, once you've done that, and again, I just think it's a great tool to have prior to a workout, prior to a run. Once you've done that, then you can start your active warm-up. And right here is my friend Jared. He put this video together, but check out this active warm-up, and I'll even provide the PDF for you guys who are looking for a good way to warm up prior to a workout to get you motivated and ready to roll. So check this out. All right, guys. So if you do all that prior to your workout, specifically the workouts that we do within Warrior MBS, you're going to feel good. Hold on, let me turn up the mic. Yeah, you're going to feel good. You're going to be, ready to go so you won't get injured. And I want to share with you real quick. I'll do a screen share here. So when guys join, this is actually the document that they use for the initial testing. So week 1 is all about me getting to know your injury history, you sharing with me your goals for the program physically, specifically, so that I can look at that initial testing, listen to your feedback, and help build the program around what you're looking to do, whether it's lose weight, whether it's put on some muscle and lose weight, or it could just be get your cardiovascular, stamina better, something like that. A lot of guys have lowered their blood pressure. There are just many, many health results good positive health results that guys have made doing this program. So that daily warm-up included a jog, going, at least 10 yards in front of you. At least I really double that personally. I do about 20 yards down and back. So jog, skips with high knees, elbow across knee to walking lunge, quad pulls, hamstring cross legs, static or active, hip opener. That's one of my favorites. And if you go back and watch this video again, you'll see where, you're putting one foot on top of the other knee and holding a tree or holding something that can give you some stability while you're on one leg, and you push that knee down and it opens up your hips. It feels amazing. Side shuffles, shoulder rotations, forward and backward, big and small. Then 10 push-ups, then an upward reach we call it diaphragm breathing, and elongating your torso to really open up your body and just get you in a good position physically and mentally for your workout. And guys have told me when they finish that warm-up, even if they didn't feel ready to go prior to, after they do the warm-up, they feel awesome. They're ready to roll. The initial testing, just some basic metrics, and I'll change these for guys who can't do any push-ups due to a shoulder, or they can't do, sit-ups because of their back. We'll change this around, but it gives me a good measure of where they're at physically so that I can put together the appropriate program for them. There's also a 1 mile run. I've had guys that start out either, in the 7-minute range all the way up to the 21-minute range because they had to walk the entire way. Sorry, I'm eating my Warrior meal right now. Sorry about that. And then, the guys turning those results to me. There's 3 photo submissions, front, side, and back, and we've had phenomenal results looking at some of those. I'd love to pull some up, but I'd have to find the files. But what I want to do right now as I close out this video, hold on one sec, is give you guys a little success tip. And this is a great success tip if you were to join Warrior MBS, but it's also a great success tip when you're entering into something, whether it's a new season in your life, a new business venture, a difficult, list of sales calls you have to make, whatever the case may be. The following advice is something I put out on day 1 to all of the guys once we start the competition in Warrior. And, some of the guys are all in and other guys are just kind of like a little bit anxious, nervous. And they just, maybe they're not quite ready to dive in yet. So I send them this following video, and I'd like you to check it out. I think it'll be helpful to you in whatever your endeavor is. Give me 1 second to find it. All right, I've got it, and here we go. What's up, Warriors? Day 1, getting after it. Just finished my workout, got back to the house, and I want to give you guys a couple pro tips as we get started. All right, so one thing it would be great to have, I'm sure a lot of you guys have one of these already, and you don't have to have it for the program, but taking one of these with you right here for your morning warm-ups can be huge. Let me fix my little mic here. So these guys with your warm-up, just for those spots, like for me, my lower back, what I find that it does there, and then for me again on my Achilles tendon and my calf muscles, just kind of get some added blood flow and some heat to those areas before I start a run. Or even today, it was a little bit earlier than I normally would work out. I got out there about 6:30 and it just felt kind of tight. So before I even did, my little jog, my skip, my high knee skips, the whole warm up, I hit myself with that thing on the Achilles tendons and on the calf muscles, and you know, it just gets you warm, helps you feel better. And then after the workout, if you feel a little tight, great to hit your body where needed with that thing. Don't do it right on the bone, it'll hurt you. But the tendons and the muscles, the connective points, I find that it's very helpful. So also, guys, I want to make this the mental mojo for the day. So gents, there's a secret that guys know who stay in great shape for the long haul, and it's the same thing that's true for great riders, great salesmen, or any other difficult endeavor or job when they really stick with it and they stay great. And it's a secret other guys don't follow, and this is what it is. It's not the working out part that's hard. It's not the running part that's hard, or the sales meeting. What's actually hard, guys, is hitting the ground to do the first push-up, sitting down to start your riding, or making that first cold call of the day. The hard part, gentlemen, is always starting. And there's a devious force out there that stops us. And I want to call that force resistance. This is why most of us have two lives. There's the life we live, and there's this unlived life that's inside of us. And between those two things stands resistance. You guys probably have exercise equipment up in your attic that's just gathering dust, but I bet when you bought it, you were really excited about it. You probably used it a time or two and then never saw it again. Guys, it's the reason that we bail out on our personal quiet times, new fitness programs, or even maybe dedicating ourselves to a calling that we know we should do. And if you feel this way, I bet late at night you experience a vision of the person that you could become and you might become versus the person that you are right now. But you can't seem to cross the bridge to get there. If you feel that way, you know exactly what resistance is. And for guys like us, I think it might be the most toxic force on the planet, because we're guys that can change the world. It's the root of more unhappiness and dissatisfaction than I think about anything else, because this resistance, it seems to come from within. We can't really pin it on something else. Now, it may come as distraction, or it may come as anger at someone else, or a habit. But at the end of the day, it's really nobody holding a gun to our head. Guys, if you believe in God, and I know that you guys do, we have to declare that resistance evil, because it prevents us from achieving the life that God intended for us when He endowed each of us with our own unique giftings and genius. Genius is a Latin word, guys, that the Romans used to denote this inviolable spirit that guided us to or guided them to their calling. Now, for us as Christians, we know the Holy Spirit is even a better guide than this. But the Holy Spirit most often works within our gifting, the gifts that God's already given us. A writer, for instance, they write with their genius. A public speaker, they speak with their gifting. Everybody that creates something, they operate from that sacramental center of the soul that God gave them. But the thing is, as powerful as our soul's call is to getting to that desired life, the forces of resistance arrayed against it, they're just as potent. It's going to sneak up on you out of nowhere the next 60 days, and it's going to steal your time, your focus, and if you're not cognizant of it, it can do it for the full 60 days, and it can do it for decades. There's a familiar story that you've all heard some version of. A man learns that he has cancer, and he's given 6 months to live. Within days, he quits his job, resumes his dream of writing songs that he gave up a long time ago for his corporate career. And his friends and companions, they think he's crazy, but he's never been happier. And during this process, his cancer goes into remission. I don't think it has to take getting cancer to get us to stare death in the face, stand up, and confront our personal resistance. I don't think it has to cripple or disfigure our lives before we wake up and realize what's going on. Guys, how many of us have succumbed at some point to painkillers or alcohol, gossip, porn, compulsive cell phone use, Netflix, just because we're not doing the thing that our hearts and the Holy Spirit is calling us to do? These sins are the tools that resistance is using to defeat us. So today, gentlemen, name the enemy. The enemy in one of its many forms is resistance. And for the next 60 days, I want you to look right in the face and say, "Not today, asshole." And keep that vision of your goals for the end of this program and who you want to become in mind. You guys are warriors, and you have what it takes. Get after it today, day one.